Ajat Aisha Bulika, and accompanied by Dr. Simba Sali Kayunga, one of the commissioners. Let me request Ms. Mebo Murungi. Mebo Murungi is our sign language interpreter. Mebo Murungi is the sign language interpreter. Translator? Is it translator or interpreter? Yes, sign language interpreter for our friends and colleagues who understand and follow that language. You are welcome to this press briefing by the Commission to update you on a number of things relating to the electoral roadmap for 2025-2026 general election. Lord Chair, it is my pleasure before you come to request somebody to come here and pray for us. If there is anybody, the award-winning lady, Jamila Indranwaha, come and lead us in a prayer. Yes. Please clap for her as she comes here. Jamila is from NPS, and she recently won an award as one of the most inspiring female journalists in the country. So Jamila, please.
Okay, let's humble ourselves for our prayer. Almighty Father in heaven, we thank you for this precious time that you have given unto us to be in your presence. We thank you for you have made us here safely, and we know that we'll all go back home safely. Bless the works of our hands, and may we continue to be in your presence. We speak peace unto our nation. May every activity that is going to take place in the next 6 to 7 months be blessed by your hands, and may we come back here with hearts full of joy to praise and worship you. Amen.
Thank you very much. Please clap for Jamila. Let me request Elder Henry Baguma to... Henry Baguma, do you know how to pray? Okay, Dodoviko, come on. You can't hear. You can't reject the microphone. Do you see? Okay, the prayer is encompassing for all. So, Lord Chair, I'll take this opportunity to invite you to speak to the nation through our friends in the media. You're welcome, sir.
Good morning, everyone. The Deputy Chairperson, Commissioners, members of management present, members of the media fraternity, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning once again, and welcome to this press conference. On behalf of the Commission, I wish to extend my gratitude to you, members of the press, for the great work you continue to perform in informing, sensitizing, and educating our citizens about their roles, rights, duties, and responsibilities in the electoral processes. As we have said time and again, the Commission considers you as critical partners in the entire process of the implementation of the roadmap for the 2025 2026 general election. That's why we have made it a point to keep inviting you here regularly to update you and through you update the country on what's going on regarding the implementation of the various elements of the roadmap. Today, the Commission wishes to update you on the progress of the program for election of the special interest groups, committees, and other matters related to the implementation of the roadmap for the 2025-2026 general elections in the following. As part of the implementation of 2025-2026 general elections roadmap, the Electoral Commission is conducting elections for older persons, persons with disabilities, and youth committees at the village or cell level. The exercise commenced with the nomination of candidates for the village or cell committees for all these three special interest groups I've mentioned above, which were conducted concurrently from Monday, 2nd June to Tuesday, 10th June 2025 at the respective sub-county or town council or municipal division headquarters. Campaigns for the said three groups were conducted from Thursday 12th to Saturday 14th June 2025, and polling or voting for the various SIGs committees commenced this week as per the schedule below in all the 71,208 villages across the country. Polling for village older persons committees took place on 16th June 2025. Polling for village persons with disabilities committees was held on 17th June 2025. Polling for village youth committees is scheduled to take place tomorrow, 19th of June 2025. I wish to convey our gratitude to those who have participated so far in the elections for PWDs and older persons, which was successfully and peacefully conducted without major or any incidents. The mode for conduct of the above elections, as we all know, is by the voters or members of the respective electoral colleges lining up behind the candidates' portraits, or candidate symbols, or candidate stages, or the individual candidates of their choice. The Commission wishes to appreciate the members of the electoral colleges for older persons and persons with disabilities for the peaceful conduct of the nominations, campaigns, and elections at the village level. The reports we have received so far from across the country indicate that the concluded village committee elections were peaceful and conducted in an atmosphere of tranquility. Elections of youth committees at the village. As indicated above, the Electoral Commission, the elections for youth committees at the village level will take place tomorrow, Thursday, 19th June 2025. The composition of the Youth Council. The village or cell youth council shall consist of youths who reside in the village or cell and who are willing to be members of the village or cell youth council. The youth committees shall have the following elective officers: 1 chairperson, vice chairperson, general secretary, publicity secretary, secretary for women, youth, who shall be a female, secretary for student affairs, who shall be a student, secretary for labor affairs, secretary for sports and culture, and secretary for finance. The members of the Youth Committee shall be elected by members of the Youth Council from among their number. Please note that voting in the Youth Committee elections, voters will appear on the voters register, which have been compiled on the basis for voting in the Youth Committee. For one to vote in the Youth Committee elections, the voters have to be on the voters registers, which have been compiled on the basis of their respective places or villages of residence. Therefore, the purpose of these elections, for purposes of these elections, voters will not appear on the register of their place of origin. Let's make this distinction. For purposes of the elections of these special interest groups, the voters have to be on the register of their residence, not origin, unless the voter's place of origin is the same as his or her place of residence or village of residence. Appeal. The Electoral Commission has noted that some candidates have already indicated plans to form vigilante groups, for example, youth brigades, allegedly provide security for their supporters during the ongoing campaigns and to guard their interests of votes or results at the village polling stations on polling days. These individuals purport to justify their intentions by alleging that the legally mandated state security organs, that is the police, are either partial or unprepared to secure the electoral environment during the village youth committee elections. The Electoral Commission would like to dismiss such assertions as unfounded and irresponsible acts, which may create unnecessary anxiety and tension or cause confusion among the voters and the people of Uganda in general. The Commission wishes to reiterate that it's only the Uganda Police Force which is in charge of providing security during the electoral process, including the special interest groups election. Political parties and organizations, as well as independent candidates, are urged to desist from forming any parallel groups such as youth brigades and militias, as this is against the electoral laws and is outside the constitutional means of achieving peaceful and credible elections. The message of the Commission to the youth as they prepare for tomorrow is that they should go to elect their village committees in the following manner. First of all, the youth are valued young people. We therefore call upon them to participate fully, effectively, and most importantly, peacefully in the village committee elections taking place tomorrow. Secondly, the youth should follow the guidelines that will be provided to them by the staff of the Electoral Commission at the polling stations. They should desist from involving themselves in unlawful activities. Youth, you must reject violence or attempts at violence. Respect one another as you participate in the electoral process. Do not use language that is inflammatory and sows hatred. Do not use social media to spread unverified information, misinformation, disinformation, or fake news. Remember that elections will result in winners and losers, but that should not divide us. Finally, elections will come and go, but our country, your country, Uganda, will always remain. Let us therefore make sure that we keep the country peaceful, united, and progressive. Apart from the elections for the special interest groups, I also want to tackle or to address you and the citizens on the guidance to all aspiring candidates for the 2025 general elections on the timelines for resignation as public servants and the establishment of academic qualifications. As earlier stated in the previous statements or correspondences, including the roadmap for the 2025-26 general elections that was launched in August 2023, the Electoral Commission wishes once again to inform and guide all persons aspiring to contest for the respective elective offices of the President, Member of Parliament, and District Chairpersons that they are required to prove resignation from public office, if any. Those are those who are holding public offices or public servants. Public servants, not public servants, not political offices or elective offices. All those public servants are informed or reminded that they are required to prove resignation from public office, and also to prove completion of a minimum formal education of advanced level standard or its equivalent among other nominations. Now the requirement for proving your academic qualifications cuts across, whether you're a public servant who intends to contest, or you're not a public servant, or you are holding an elective office currently. You are required to establish your academic qualifications. Aspiring candidates in possession of an advanced level certificate of education obtained in Uganda, or qualifications higher than the prescribed qualification obtained in Uganda, that is A level, or obtained from the former University of East Africa, or any of its constituent colleges, then are not required to verify their qualification with the National Council for Higher Education, or NCHE. If you have an advanced level certificate or qualification higher than A level obtained in Uganda, you don't have to go to National Council for Education to establish your academic qualifications. Under Section 4, Subsection 6 of the Presidential Elections Act, Section 4, Subsection 5 of the Parliamentary Elections Act, and Section 123, Subsection 4 of the Local Governments Act, persons wishing to stand for the respective elective offices of the President, Member of Parliament, and District Chairpersons shall be required to establish their qualifications with the Electoral Commission as persons holding a minimum qualification of advanced level or its equivalent at least 2 months before nomination day. Anyone who wishes to contest as President, Member of Parliament, or District Chairperson is required by law to establish their academic qualifications with the Electoral Commission as persons holding a minimum qualification of advanced level or its equivalent at least 2 months before nomination day. In that regard, therefore, the categories of academic qualifications that should be established with the Electoral Commission are as follows. 1, persons who obtain their qualifications from Uganda or outside Uganda, who are claiming to have their qualification accepted as equivalent to advanced level education. In other words, those who have qualifications other than a direct A-level certificate, but who say, what I have is equivalent to the A-level of Uganda, okay, are in that category of persons who have to establish they have the relevant or requisite academic qualifications. Secondly, those persons claiming to have an advanced level qualification obtained from outside Uganda. If you studied outside Uganda and you obtained the A level of Kenya or Rwanda or DRC or wherever, you're also required to go to National Council for Education to establish that your A level obtained in another country is equivalent to our A level, to the A level of Uganda. Third category are those persons claiming to have degrees which were obtained from outside Uganda. There may be those aspirants who have degrees obtained outside Uganda. They have also to verify those degrees with National Council of Education so as to confirm whether those degrees are equivalent either to our A level or our degrees of the degrees of Uganda. A person required to establish his or her qualification under the above shall do so by production of a certificate issued to him or her by the National Council for Education in consultation with the Uganda National Examinations Board. Again, this is a requirement of the law that if you present your A level obtained outside Uganda to National Council for Education, if they are satisfied that is equivalent to our A level here, they are supposed to issue a certificate which you then present to the Electoral Commission that my A level obtained outside Uganda, or my degree obtained outside Uganda, or the certificates and diplomas obtained in Uganda have been confirmed as equivalent to the A level of Uganda by National Council, and they give you a certificate in that regard. A person who claims to possess an academic degree obtained outside Uganda shall prove to the satisfaction of National Council of Education that the admission to that qualification was obtained on the basis of an advanced level standard of education or its equivalent before the certificate can be issued by National Council for Higher Education. Note, the Electoral Commission shall not accept a statutory declaration or affidavit as evidence of an academic qualification. Some people are fond of just going to a lawyer, getting an affidavit or a statutory instrument to confirm or to prove as proof that they have the requisite academic qualifications. This is not permitted in law. Affidavit or statutory declaration are not permitted in law as evidence of academic qualification. For avoidance of doubt, establishing any person's qualifications shall not be done by the respective electoral district returning officers on nomination day. Aspirants, do not take your A-level certificate obtained outside Uganda or a degree obtained outside Uganda to the nomination officer on nomination day and say, this is A-level obtained from outside Uganda, nominate me. Or this is a degree obtained outside Uganda. No. You are supposed to take those to National Council of Education. It is not the duty of the Electoral Commission to verify the propriety or suitability of your academic qualifications in line with the law. What we accept is a degree obtained in Uganda or a certificate of higher education of advanced A-level obtained in Uganda, or proof evidence to that effect, but not outside. Aspiring candidates shall be required to present their letters of clearance for nominations issued by the Electoral Commission upon establishing their qualifications. Once you have established your qualifications with the Electoral Commission before nominations, because the law says 2 months before nominations, establish your academic qualifications with the Electoral Commission. Now, once you have done that, then we shall issue a letters of clearance, which we will present on nomination day. The Commission will furnish the respective electoral district returning officers with a list of aspiring candidates in that district who have established the academic qualifications with the Electoral Commission. A person shall not be regarded as duly nominated, and the nomination paper of any person shall be regarded as void if the requirement for establishment of qualifications with the Commission as persons or a person holding a minimum qualification of of advanced A level or its equivalent is not complied with, that is to say, 2 months before nomination day. If you have not presented or certified or established your academic qualifications with the commission 2 months before nomination day, you may not qualify or you not qualify to get nominated on the nomination day. Subject to the legal provisions on timelines for the establishment of qualifications with the commission as persons holding a minimum qualification of advanced level or its equivalent. Candidates, aspiring candidates are required to comply with the following deadlines. If you intend to contest for the office of the president, the deadline of establishing your academic qualifications is 1st August 2025. If you intend to contest for parliamentary position, deadline 16th July 2025. Those who intend to contest for district chairpersons, deadline 3rd July 2025. All those persons who had their academic qualifications verified in previous elections, for example, those who participated in 2021 elections, for purposes of the 2025 general elections, you are required to re-verify your academic qualifications with the National Council for Higher Education in consultation with the Uganda National Examination Board. So do not say, since I verified in 2020 and participated in 2021 elections, and I have not changed my academic qualifications, I can use the verification of 2020. No, you are required to go for another verification by National Council for Education, because this is another round of elections. What you presented then was for the 2021 general elections. What you are required to present now is a verification by National Council for Education or Electoral Commission for the 2025 general elections. Secondly, those people will also be required to establish their qualifications with the Electoral Commission in line with the Section 4, subsection 7 of the Presidential Elections Act, Section 4, subsection 6 of the Parliamentary Elections Act, and Section 123, subsections 5 and 6 of the Local Governments Act. Thirdly, all persons previously issued with certificates under Section 4, subsection 7 of the Presidential Elections Act, Section 4, 6 of the Parliamentary Elections Act, and Section 123, 5 and 6 of the Local Governments Act, and have since added on their qualifications or have attained higher qualifications in Uganda, shall not be required to verify their academic qualifications with the National Council for Education in concession. For instance, what this says, if in the 2021 elections, you had diplomas, certificates, which were verified by National Council for Education as equivalent to A level, but since 2021, you have added on a degree obtained in Uganda, you don't have to go back to check for verification of your diplomas. I think what will be applicable is the higher degree which you have obtained since then. Fourthly, all persons previously issued with certificates under Section 4.7, the sections have been referred to under presidential, parliamentary, local government, and have since attained higher qualifications outside Uganda, shall be required to establish their academic qualifications with the National Council for Education in consultations with Uganda National Examination Board. The other aspect we want to address is resignation from public office. As per Section 4, subsection 5 of the Presidential Elections Act, Section 4, subsection 4A of the Parliamentary Elections Act, and Section 129, subsection 5 of the Local Governments Act, a public officer or a person employed in any government department or agency of the government, or an employee of a local government, or any body in which the government has controlling interest, who wishes to stand for election as president shall resign his or her office before nomination day. Before nomination day. Secondly, a public officer or a person employed in any government department or agency of the government, or an employee of a local government, or anybody in which, or any agency in which the government has controlling interest, wishes to stand for election as a member of parliament shall resign his office at least 90 days before nomination day. Those who wish to contest for president, you resign one day. No, you resign just before nomination day. Those who wish to contest for parliament, you resign 90 days before nomination day. Thirdly, a public officer, a person employed in a government department or agency, in which, or any agency or local government, who wishes to stand for election as a district or city chairperson or Lord Mayor, shall resign his office at least 30 days before nomination day. For local government, 30 days before nomination. Parliament, 90 days. Fourthly, all persons who fall under the category of the special interest groups aspire to be elected to the respective village, parish or ward, sub-county or town or municipal division, municipality or city division, and district or city older persons committees, persons with disabilities committees, and youth committees, who are employed in any government department or agency of the government, or is an employee of a local government, or any agency in which the government has controlling interest, who wishes to stand for election shall resign his or her office before nomination day. Fifthly, according to the legal provisions on timelines for resignation before nominations, aspiring candidates are therefore required to comply with the following deadlines. For special interest groups, older persons, PWDs, and youth committees, the deadline has already lapsed 28th April. Those who wish to contest those special SIGs elections. The deadline was for resignation 48th April. Parliamentary, those who wish to contest the parliamentary elections, the deadline has just passed, 13th June 2025. For those civil servants, members of security forces, what have you, who have not put in their resignation, who wish to contest and have not put in their resignation already for parliament, too late, bear kumulimogo till wait until 2031. Local government councils, the deadline for resignation is 2nd August 2025. Presidential, 1st October 2025. Please note that a person shall not be regarded as duly nominated, and the nomination paper of any person shall be regarded as void if the requirement for resignation for public office within the prescribed timeline by law is not complied with before nomination day. This applies to public servants who wish to contest. If you have not resigned within the stipulated time frames and you offer yourself for nomination day, will not be accepted. Furthermore, the evidence of receipt of resignation shall be presented to the returning officer together with the nomination papers. Participation, but the other aspect we want to address is the participation in political activities of political parties by the Uganda People's Defense Forces, the Uganda Police Force, Uganda Prison Service, public officers, and traditional or cultural leaders. Under the law, a member of the Uganda People's Defense Forces, the Uganda Police Force, the Uganda Prison Service, or a public officer, or a traditional cultural leader, or a person employed in a company wholly owned by the government, shall not, one, be a founder, promoter, or other member of the political party organization, shall not, two, hold office in a political party organization, shall not, three, speak in public or publish anything involving matters of political party or organization controversy, or four, shall not engage in canvassing support of a political party or organization, or a candidate standing for public elections sponsored by a political party or organization. Finally, sponsorship of candidates by political parties and organizations. I think you have seen various political parties now which are in the process of carrying out their internal party modalities of identifying the various flag bearers for the different elective offices. The nomination of candidates may be made by a registered political party organization or political party sponsoring a candidate. The nomination of candidates may be made by a registered party or political party sponsoring a candidate. Secondly, where a candidate is sponsored by a political party or organization, the nomination paper shall be endorsed and sealed by the political party or organization sponsoring the candidate. Thirdly, the Secretary General of a political party or organization or a person designated by him or her shall ensure that the nomination papers of their flag bearers are endorsed and sealed. Finally, the list of persons designated by the Secretary General of a political party organization for purposes of ensuring that the nomination papers are endorsed should be communicated to the Electoral Commission head office and the offices of the respective electoral district returning officers before the appointed nomination dates. I thank you for listening to me, and so this will go on.
Thank you very much, Chairperson of the Electoral Commission. The statement by the Chairperson of the Electoral Commission is going to be uploaded very shortly on the website of the Electoral Commission, so that if you want to refer to it more closely, you can download it and have it in soft copy. Our team, Edgar and team, will have it uploaded shortly. Thank you very much, Lord Chair. Mabel, I will request that you go and take a cup of tea. Mabel, thank you very much. Please join me to thank Mabel for communicating to the people that understand this language. Go and take a cup of tea, and we ask Ms. Hope Nyamwiza to step in and take the session of the questions and answers. Thank you. Hope Nyamwiza also speaks the language of persons that understand that language. Welcome. So we shall take your questions. You say your name, the media house you work for, and straight to the point, ask the question. May I have that microphone?
we have Uganda?
Richard, take this.
Thank you. My name is Derek Wandera from the Daily Monitor. Lord Chair, a sticking issue that you mentioned is about the youths who are making and forming vigilante groups because of the allegations of fear for their own security. Lord Chair, Section 14 of the Electoral Commission Act stipulates that the returning officer shall appoint 2 constables to man the polling station. Lord Chair, we've seen not just the last or past elections, not even the one of Kawempe, not even the one of the ones of 2021, that there is more than a battalion of the military around polling stations, but also in campaigns. Militarization of the elections has been a big vice for the country over the past years, and many stakeholders have complained about the same. The Electoral Commission sometimes even finds itself in a difficult position as though they are not in charge of the elections. Lord Chair, is there a way the Electoral Commission is trying to help in the militarization of elections? Thank you.
Lord Chair, my name is Felix Jerome, working with the Sunlight newspaper. Lord Chair, my question is a bit confusing, full of confusion, but in clear sense it's a public question. We all know all government agencies, you find it has autocracy, rather autonomy. For example, when you look at Bank of Uganda, they are all government agencies. They are the one registered in all commercial banks, financial institutions. And if you go back to UCC, they issue permits to work on ABCD. They have power to revoke permits. But when it comes to Electoral Commission, you and your team, you are the one registered in political party. Well known is the location what? What amazing. We know very well that police is entitled to help you. We know very well police is entitled to help you. But we don't see how an armed force can in to help you without your invitation. At times wake up, you find the political party, is and you don't come out with a statement. And some people out there think you are working under duress, you are following someone's instructions. So the election is somehow good, but you are a bit mute on some sensitive issues. So help me right there. Thank you.
No, we don't speak, we don't talk.
Thank you, Lord Chair. My name is George Mukenya. I work with the Eastern News. Lord Chair, you have not hinted on the nomination fees. Are you going to maintain the previous one or? Thank you.
Thank you very much. My name is Jackson Mananga. I work for NTV Uganda. My Lord, mine has to do with the budget. We know that the budget has just been read, and this is the last financial year to start the election. So what is the kind of the budget that the Electoral Commission requested for, and is it what you were given? I'm asking this question in terms of, we know that when you're conducting registration for voters, you did get equipment from other government institutions like PIPOS, and you said actually some of them did not function well and have let you down. So I would like to know in terms of equipment, what the National Identification and Registration Authority is it what also you're going to use all these budgets to take care of new equipment? Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, Chairperson. I have two questions. My name is Byabakama from NBC. My first question is about the PWDs. We see that in many villages there are no contestants for the positions in some of the villages. So we'd like to understand why is that so. My second question is about the concerns raised by the CSOs saying that they send applications to be appointed as election observers, but 8 months down the road, they are yet to get a response from the electoral commission.
Good afternoon, Chairman. I'm called Nelson Kiva. I write with the division. Chairman, my question is about technology. In this election, in all of the explanations so far, the use of technology is not emerging prominent, and we are asking which kind of technology we are going to use. And our voters, how are they going to be sensitized in this short period about the technology? And in terms of procurement, recently we saw some article to do with technology, procuring technology. How far? Thank you very much.
Thank you, Chairman. Jude, Radio 1 and Radio Talk Voice. Chairman, we have seen members of the public or the electorate coming in to take part, but the numbers are really little or few. And they are claiming, some are claiming that they are not yet being sensitized about the whole process. Okay, you have given us a roadmap what's happening, but down in the field, something is still lacking. How are you going to see that they all participate fully? Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. My name is Peter Sengo from MTV. Chair, I'm seeking clarification to do with these 6 elections. Are they supposed to be manned by electoral commission officials? Because some villages were there were complainants that who said the chairperson officials, electoral commission officials were not there, and they were being manned by sometimes chairperson, village chairpersons. We want that clarification that your task force or your forces were not there on ground.
Thank you so much. Greetings to you all. Chairperson, DC. My name is Susan Nanyans. I work with Spark TV. You've talked of youths rejecting violence, but we've seen violence already. These youths, especially from the opposition, they claim that their names are not on the register, especially the candidates. Those are contesting for different positions. And there were some issues that the youths from the opposition were not allowed to contest. I think they were only selecting those from the ruling party. So could you please address that? Thank you.
Lord Chair, perhaps we take those, and then we shall see the answer to the questions.
Thank you very much to our colleagues from the media for these wonderful questions you have raised. Now, Ronald Derrick, Yes, Derek is right. According to the law, the returning officer is required to appoint the polling constable per polling station. Ordinarily, since the commission recognizes or is aware that the Uganda Police Force has the constitutional mandate to maintain law and order and fight crime in whatever environment, the commission works closely with the Uganda Police Force in requiring them to secure the electoral materials, to maintain law and order on polling day and throughout all other electoral activities. And therefore our expectation is that at a polling station, members of the Uganda Police Force are in charge of the security at a polling station. However, when you look at Article 212 of the Constitution, which defines the functions of the Uganda Police Force, I think it says in the performance or in the execution of their mandate, they have the liberty or the discretion to work with to call in other security agencies to lend support or to supplement their work of maintaining law and order. So the presence of military or UPDF personnel in the electoral process is the work of the Uganda Police Force, who have the liberty or the discretion to require or to request other agencies of the state who are in the security domain to lend them a hand. This should not be a problem in my view, because our security services are servants of the people of Uganda. And whether it is a national process or activity, depending on the intelligence or other information they have pertaining to the security or the safety of the people and property involved in that process, it would therefore require any members of these security services to ensure that there is a tranquil, serene, stable environment that allows that activity to take place for the good of the people of Uganda. What is not allowed, however, and I let me emphasize this, is any member of those security services or forces to overstep their mandate and appear to interfere or purport to take over whatever activities are taking place at a polling station. That is absolutely wrong and illegal. Members of security services or forces are not the managers of electoral processes. They are not managers of elections. This is the electoral commission. So any individual officer who oversteps his or her limits in law, the execution of his or her duties, must be dealt with, should be dealt with in accordance with the law. If I go now on this roundabout here and purport to control traffic like a traffic officer, I stop. When I stop you, I say, can you show me your driving permit? Will I be in order? Simply because I'm chairman of the EC and I have my escorts with me. Therefore, I purport to take over the role of other people. I will be wrong. I will be wrong. That's impersonation. So that's why we have emphasized over and again that we can have peaceful, credible elections in this country and maintain the country on the trajectory or in an environment of tranquility and stability if each one of us acts within our given mandate. If you're a public officer, if you act within the mandate defined under the law, the constitution, or the law creating your agency in the execution of your duties, there will be no problem. Problem comes in when other people get overzealous for whatever reason, either they're ignorant or they're intentional and try to take over the roles of other government entities. So please, we shall continue. What are we going to do about that? We are talking to them. We are already engaging with the Uganda Police Force in their settings, on their roles as defined in the law, and our expectation of how they should execute their roles, mindful that what is of critical focus is elections. How do I execute my mandate in the setting of ensuring there is a free and fair election in a peaceful environment? That should be. We're engaging with them. I've been invited, I've already gone, I was invited to go to Cavalier Police Training School, where I went and addressed about 4,000 trainees. The other day was in Kikando Police Training School, also addressed CID officers. What is their role? They should investigate electoral crime and make sure the offenders are prosecuted. Tomorrow I'll be at police headquarters addressing all the police officers in the Kampala metropolitan area. What do we expect of them? How can we work together to ensure we have peaceful, free and fair elections? So engagement. We shall also be engaging with the Uganda People's Defense Forces at their level and air to them the complaints that have been raised by so many actors on their role, perceived role, or whatever in the electoral setting and environment. So, Derek, we are addressing this as a commission. Sakine, you're saying that other agencies are seen to be executing their autonomy, or to be acting in their autonomy peacefully, normally. But when it comes to EC, our autonomy seems to be crowded. Our space is crowded by many actors. This is what I was saying. Some people don't want to stick to their lane. They don't want to stick to their mandate. You know, people in athletics, all these competitors, either 400 or whatever it is, or 100 meters, each one is allotted a lane. What happens when one crosses from one lane to the other? Is disqualified. So even now, our emphasis is, police, stick to your lane. UPDF, stick to your lane. Political parties, stick to your lane. Candidates, stick to your lane. Everybody, civil society, the media, stick to your lanes. If all of us stick to our lanes, and then we move under the command of the law, so go. All these things will not be an issue. And as we head to 2026, the Commission is mindful of the importance of ensuring that each one of us executes our mandate in accordance with the law and good sense and for the good of the country. And that's what we tend to miss out most of the time. If whatever we are doing could be contextualized in what is good for the country, Mother Uganda, we won't have all these issues. So I want to assure you, we don't work under orders from anybody. The only orders we receive are from here, this book. is one which defines what we have to do and tell others what they have to do. That's why we are the ones who issue guidelines. So not the Uganda Police Force, not UPDF, it's not political parties which issue guidelines, it is the Commission. And those guidelines are derived from the provisions of the Constitution and all these acts of Parliament regarding or governing elections. Yeah. Star News, nomination fees. Unfortunately, nomination fees are set by Parliament in the various electoral laws. For presidential candidates, the nomination fee has not been set. It is still 20 million Uganda shillings only. For parliamentary, it is still the same, 3 million. Local government, I think this which Chairperson is 500,000. It's only councillors and these youth and these other elections where people are not supposed to pay anything. For instance, nobody is required to pay any coin to contest in the special interest group committee elections. If this has to change, the nomination fees have to be changed. Let Parliament, it is the duty of Parliament to change that. The remaining part of our budget, yes, you are right, Ms. Onyango, this is the financial 2025-2026 is the last financial year for the phased budgeting process of the electoral of the general elections roadmap and the budget. Minister of Finance has availed us some money already, which has been running all these various programs and activities. And we have been assured that in this coming financial year, we shall have the last batch of the budget to print ballot papers, procure the relevant technology to be used during elections. Then I think for cars for presidential candidates, I think those ones were catered before this financial year. They should soon be coming, and so on and so forth. So, and I want you to realize this. Elections in Uganda are wholly and singularly financed by the government of Uganda. We don't get any donor funding for elections as electoral commission. Zero. It's the government. And we really appreciate the government because elections are damn costly, damn expensive. But government bears the singular burden of funding our electoral activities. Now, on the issue of equipment, yes, we borrowed equipment from NIRA during the update exercise because it is the responsibility of NIRA under the law to register citizens. And therefore, it was fair to be prudent from the financial perspective on the part of government to have NIRA, which is supposed to register citizens, have equipment for citizens registration, then EC have your own equipment for citizens registration during elections. And that's why the law says the EC may use data obtained by NIRA with regard to who is a citizen under 18 years and above and therefore qualifies to vote. But when it comes to what we shall use on polling day, we won't borrow from NIRA, we won't borrow from UPOS. We are going to procure our own equipment that we are going to use on polling days. PWDs in some areas were not contestants. Why? You know, participating in elections in Uganda is wholly voluntary. It's not compulsory or mandatory. So the people may offer themselves as candidates or they may not. People may vote or they may not. It's their choice. But where no single candidate commission is supposed to take a decision whether to repeat the nomination process. Maybe something could have happened, maybe people in that area were not adequately sensitized. I'm just second guessing, but it's our duty to ensure that people are given an opportunity to get nominated again. Yes, on the issue of CSOs, it's true some CSOs applied to be accredited as voter educators, and also, I don't know whether we have received for observers as yet, or observers. The Commission is in the process of scrutinizing those applications, and I think very soon, if I'm not mistaken, we shall be issuing accreditations to those which we have verified. Because you know, it's not automatic that when a group writes to us, we simply say, okay, you are accredited. No, we've got to subject these applications through certain processes. For instance, are you duly registered or not? You may not be registered under the NGO or whatever forum responsible for registering CSOs. So it's our responsibility that we ensure that we are dealing with a credible organization in this electoral process. Use of technology, not being mentioned in my communication. Well, we shall use technology as we did in 2021, particularly at polling stations, in the process of voter identification and voter verification. We are going to use technology. Voters will be biometrically identified before they are given the ballot paper to go and vote and cast the vote or the ballot in the box. We shall be appraising you and the people of Uganda on the kind of technology that is going to be used. I can assure the people of Uganda we are not going to use a system in secret, or that is under wraps, or that is not understood or known. No. At the relevant time, we shall be notifying the people as the kind of technology, as the kind of equipment we are going to utilize at the polling station for voter verification and identification. But for emphasis, I want to say we shall definitely continue the system of voter verification and identification biometrically. Then transmission of results, the same. At least from the tally center to the national tally center, we are going to transmit results electronically. We are going to inform you about it. Jude, electoral taking the number of your citizens taking part in these electoral activities being few. Again, I go back to what I mentioned earlier. Voting in Uganda is voluntary. Participating in electoral activities in Uganda is voluntary. It's not compulsory, mandatory. You may go to an update center if you so wish to be registered as a voter. Although our desire, our wish as PC, is that every citizen who is 18 years or above goes and registers as a voter. But that is past now. If you are waking up now and you want to register as a voter, it's too late. The period for that has since lapsed or passed. You have to wait until 2031. Similarly, for the remaining activities, we want to appeal to all citizens who are registered voters. Please participate. Please participate. In these elections we are talking about, for special interest groups, if you fall under any of those categories, please participate. Because we want the people of Uganda to appreciate the importance, the significance of Article 1 of the Constitution, which says all power belongs to the people of Uganda. And they shall exercise this power by their will and consent in choosing leaders they want to govern them through free and fair elections. That's the importance of that article. So when you don't come out to vote or participate, then you are relinquishing the power given to you under Article 1. Why should you do that? But we are engaging with the people. We are going to continue engaging with the people, sensitizing them about the expected role, about their obligations to promote democracy and rule of law. And you cannot promote democracy by being a participant in the various electoral processes and offering yourself as a candidate at the levels you feel you qualify. So we are concerned that few people are interested, but we also want to appeal to the other stakeholders, political parties. You need these voters, aspiring candidates. You need these voters. Why don't you also mobilize and sensitize them to turn up and vote? Because without them, they may not go through. Or with a few of them coming up, and there are so many. So I think we are going to work hand in hand. We are going to have a joint process of ensuring we mobilize, sensitize, and educate voters on their role as citizens and the importance of exercising their power, which is articulated in Article 1 of the Constitution. I thank you. God bless you. Okay, tuli wano ku kakiiko k'ebyokulonda okusooka njagala okwebaza mwenna abannamawulire abavudde mu bitongole by'amawulire ebitali bino abatwegasseeko olwaleero nga bwe tutangaaza abannayuganda wa wetuyimiridde oba kiki ekigenda mu maaso mu kaweefube oba pulogulaamu y'okulonda kwa bonna bwe twatangaaza omwaka gwa 2023. Bintu bingi bitutuuseeko era ebitumaze okutuukirizibwa okukola kati waliwo ebitutambuza naddala kusaawa eno waliwo okulonda kw'obukiiko mu byalo bw'ebyalo ku special interest groups oba abantu abaliko obulemu, abantu abakadde n'abavubuka. Okulonda okwabaliko obulemu kw'okuwedde kwaliwo nga ku balaza. Okulonda abaliko okw'abakadde nakwo kwawedde nakwo kuwedde. Enkya ku Lwokuna ennaku 19 okulonda kw'obukiiko obw'ebyalo bw'abavubuka kwe kugenda okubeerawo mu byalo byonna ebya Uganda 7,100 eby'ebyalo ebitulina kati mu Uganda. Era tusaba twagala okwebaza abo bonna beenyigidde mu kulonda kwabaliko obulemu n'abakadde. Okulonda kwabadde kw'emirembe, ebintu bitambudde bulungi. Era tusaba era tukubiriza abavubuka nti nammwe enkeera olw'olunaku lw'enkya okulonda kwabwe kubeere kw'emirembe, kubeere kw'amazima, kubeere kwerefu. Temukola mivuyo gyonna, temuleeta mivuyo gyonna tubeegayiridde, temuleeta okubagana. Kubanga twategedde nti waliwo ebibiina ebimu oba abantu bamu baagala okuteekayo ebibinja by'abantu baba bafuula nga baserukale oba nti bakuumi oba obululu oba kiki. Tekiikiriza amateeka bannange. Obuvunaanyizibwa kusinziira mu ssemateeka w'okuteekawo embeera ey'emirembe n'obutebenkevu. Buvunaanyizibwa ekitongole kya Uganda Police Force. Ffe ng'abantu bwe tubawa ensonga yonna gye tulaba nti eyinza okutataganya okulonda okugenda kubeera mu kitundu kyonna, tutegeeze poliisi esobole okukola ogwayo eza embeera mu nteebe. Nalwekyo tusaba abo bonna ebibiina by'obufuzi abagamba nti bagenda okuteekawo obubinjabinja bwabwe, mujja kuba mumenya amateeka. Kati bwaba n'abakolako temutandika okugamba okuyomba nti ate babayisa bulungi. Nekirala twongeza okujjukiza abo bonna bagenda okwesimbawo okulonda kwa 26 ofiisi ya president, omukiikize parliament, abakulembeze ba district oba aba city oba meya, tiwaba okukwakuliza mulina okutuukiriza. Sooka bw'oba oli mukozi wa gavumenti oyagala kwesimbawo kumifule bagamba olina kulekulira, etteeka ligamba olina kulekulira omulimu gwo gw'oli mukati. Bw'oba oyagala kwesimba komisi wa president oba kifo kyewa president olina okulekulira nga okwewandiisa oba nomination tenabeerawo. Oyagala kwesimbawo ku bwa member of parliament olina okulekulira ofiisi nga wabula emyezi 3 nga okwewandiisa oba nomination tenabeerawo. Oyagala kwesimba mu kifo kyonna kya local government oba district chairperson oba road mayor oba kiki, teeka ligamba olina okulekulira omulimu gwo oba mu buli mukozi wa gavumenti wabula ina kwasatu. Nekirala kitwagadde okujjukiza bannayuganda naddala abagenda okwesimbawo ebyetaaga okwakuliza obule okusomako wasoma okyenkana ki. Bw'oba oyagala kwesimba ku wa president teeka ligamba nti olina okulaga nti wasoma n'otuuka mu kyomukaaga aba senior 6 ng'olina ebbaluwa eraga nti wasoma kyomukaaga oba wasoma certificate oba diploma. Olina okulaga nti National Council of Education ekakasiza nti certificates oba diploma z'olina zenkanankana na senior 6 oba A-level. Bw'oba olina degree eye Uganda kubanga nsukulumuko ku A-level oba certificate osiniya omukaaga tekyetaaga certificate ogambe nti nze ogende mu National Council of Education. Bw'obanga olina ebisanyizo by'okusoma oba A-level oba degree nga wabifunire bweru wa Uganda, oba oyagala kwesimbawo sooka ogende mu National Council of Education ekakase nti ddala empapula zino z'olina S6 ye Kenya oba America oba wa yenkanankana na siniya 6 ye Uganda oba degree gye wafuna oba Australia oba yenkanankana na degree ye Uganda oba ne. Kati olwo National Council of Education bwemmala okukakasa nti ebiwandiiko byo yenkanankana nebya Uganda ne balyoka bakuwa certificate ekakasa nti olina ebyetaagisa okusinziira omumateeka kwesimbawo mu kifo ekyo. Certificate egyo oleeta mu kakiiko by'okuwa. Ate etteeka ne ligamba ate abo bonna abagala kwesimbawo mulina okukakasa nti mulina empapula ez'okusoma oba qualifications nga wabulayo emyezi 2 nga kwewandiisa nga candidate tekunabeerawo oba nominations tenabeerawo. Ekyo etteeka ligamba nti mulina kikola. Bw'obanga tukikoze munaani bibyo netwongera okulabulaba nti abo bonna bagala kwesimbawo ku bwa president nga olumu okitoba olina okubanga olukolerawo. Ayagala kwesimbawo ku member of parliament ennaku 13 omwezi negwetuli olunaku lwayiseewo. Oyo naali mu office public servant oba okolera ekitongole ky'okwerinda bw'obanga tewali kuli ennaku 13 kati byerabiro by'okwesimbawo munnange lindira 23 obudde bwakuyiseewo dda tetukyakuukiriza. Abo nabagala kwesimbawo ku local government ennaku 2 omwezi gw'omunaana bwe bajja kukola ki bwe balina okulaba nti balekulidde offices. Waliwo ekibuuzo kisazeemu ekikwatako omukyala Bobi waliwo ya Nanyanja Kasupa nti waliwo abavubuka abamu batandise dde okwenyigira mu mimivuyo oba violence. Tubakuutira abavubuka mwenna tubasaba mugondera amateeka bannange. Otagondera amateeka gagenda okugojjolola amateeka wegendereze tebakukumako omuliro ago oli wakabi mwana olininja ebyamateeka tuligenderako tubalage taaki munnange taaki yinza okubulamu obuntu okuguluka okugende oba obulamu bwo. Ekyo tubasaba mugondera amateeka. Yes, abanuupu beekubira enduulu wano. Secretary General yatuwandiikira ne banuupu bamu ba youth bamuka batuwandiikira nga bagamba nti baabagaana okwewandiisa. Era amateeka nga bwe gatulagira twabayita lunaku olwokuna wiiki ewedde twabayita ne tutuula nabo ng'akakiiko ne bajja ne balooya baabwe ne balambika ensonga okwemulugunya kwabwe bagamba nti baabagaana. Naffe ne tuyita abaofiisa baffe abaali bakolako abantu abo nabo ne babeera mu lukuŋŋaana olwo ne tuwuliza ensonga zaabwe. Oluvannyuma ne tutuula ne twekenneenya be baabyogera ne batuwa n'empapula. Batuleetera empapula nyingi, bannabo baali beesimbyewo, baali baagala kwesimbawo ne babagaana. Kati naffe ne tukola ogwaffe nga tulina okukola era bwenjogera kati ndowooza tubategeeza biki ebyavudde mu biki ebitwalabye. Kubanga waliwo bagamba nti baagenda babagaana okwewandiisa. So saagala kwogera ku biki byetusazeewo naye tujja kuba tuli mu kutegeeza banuupu biki ebyetuzudde mu kwemulugunya kwaffe. Naffe kyetumanyi nti buli muntu yenna alina ebisaanyizo bw'abanga yeewandisa mu kyalo. Naye kyetuzudde nti waliwo abamu ayagala kwesimba mu kyalo kino tugambe ki ayagala kwesimba mu village A naye ate mutuuze mu village B. Naye ate teeka ligamba nti olina okwesimbawo mu kakiiko k'ekyalo w'otuula oba w'obeera. Obutuuze bwo buli luddaba. Sigamba nti erindaba kino kyalo kiriraanye ate kino ngeri kyalo tekiriraanye ate teri bantu bankiso kangende nedda wabwe tuzire mu bipindi. N'ebisingako tubiwandiise mu mabaluwa nga tubategeeza nti kiki byetuzudde. Abo boona betulaba nti betuzudde nti ddala kyali kituufu bandibadde bawandiikibwa tugambe nti babawandiike benyigire mu kulonda olunaku lw'enkya. Yes, waliwo n'omwami Sserugo n'ekibuuzo mbadde sikizeemu yawuziza nti okulonda kuno kwa SIGs ffe tulina okukulira okulonda okwo oba ba Chairperson w'ebyalo. Ssebo nnyo ffe tukulira okulonda okwo si ba LC Chairperson w'ebyalo. Okujja kufa ba LC tubagamba kintu kimu mukunga abantu bammwe beenyigire mu kulonda kuno. Ati bakunge emirembe n'obutebenke kyokka. Naye si bo abakulira omulimu gwo. Kubanga abakulira omulimu ogwo twabawandiika twabalekuruutinga ne tugamba gwogenda kukola ekyalo kiti gwogenda kukola bwe. Kati abagenze simanyi mwagenze omufiirwe okulaba ni abadde akulira okulonda okwo. Naye bwabaawo ekyalo kyonna oba ekifo kyonna nti abantu baffe oba omuntu waffe bwe twawandiika okukola mu kyalo ekyo oba buli nsonga emutazize batakoze eki balina okutegeeza parish supervisor whatsapp county supervisor ne bamugamba nti omuntu otaliwo oba returning officer nti omuntu wamutazize. Naye tukubadde tunafuna reports zonna. Banange basibu ne banyabo njagala kubeebaza enkozesa ya tekinologiya. Yesu tugenda kukozesa tekinologiya. Ekyo teri kibuuzo tujja kweyambisa tekinologiya olunaku lw'okulonda. Naddala okuteeseramu omulonzi omutuufu yaluwa nga tebanakukwasa kapapula. Tugyemu bano baagala kuyita nanyengeri nkinauganda. Nedda buli muntu agenda okuweebwa kapapula oba ballot paper ajja kusooka kakasibwa tekinologiya oba obwoma bwetugenda kuteeka ku bugombe. Ab'ebyokwerinda tubakubiriza nti obuvunaanyizibwa enteekateeka ey'okulonda okusinziira ku ssemateeka kakiiko k'ebyokulonda. Naye okuggyako akakiiko bannange mumanyi nti akalulu ka Uganda kafuuka kakufa na kuwona. Vaawo mpitewo mukimanyi. Oyinza okuteeka akalulu mu Uganda nga bakitowolo byokwerinda nga tebaliiwo. Oba oyonoona biseera ab'ebyokutongole ebyokwerinda balina okubeerawo kubanga tumanyi Uganda kati kalulu. Juzi Tambo yabadde agamba nange munyambe kino kimpitiriddeko abantu 25 nibeesimba ku kifu kimu 25 kaduka NI primaries kati tunagulawo nominations yagezeza bonna ebibiina byonna binayingirawo kati abantu banaabeera bame temukiraba tikaduka Uganda kafuuka oba tukayite tutya n'ogamba nti ab'ebitonde by'okwerinda abantu bemulugunya nnyo oba bwe babalaba muwambadde ebintu ebitiisatiisa mugende mwebake mubarakisi zammwe tegenda kubeereko tegasobola nolwaffe kyogga kakiiko ebyokulonda ab'ebitongole by'okwerinda tubeetaaga basobole okulaba nti entebenkeka y'emirembe naye kyetutaagala omuntu yena bitokole omuntu omukozi ekitongole kyokwerinda ate okweyingiza mu bikwata kalulu oba okoze ensobi bakuyita ku mbaga ng'omugenyi oba okuba ebifaananyi bakusasula n'ebitera tutuuka kusala keeki ate nanoga ne keeki naye ngimanyi nange kandeere muteeka genda kuka keeki mubye wansi wazikkola bakugamba omulimu gwo gwebifaananyi kati bunone kati nabo tubalina mu kalulu tubalaba naye tubakubiriza tugamba nti bannange kola obugogogo gwakoleese ebyo no simanyi byalekawo empe ebyo bannange titwagala ebintu bya mulimu negye oba baali bannayuganda bose bannayuganda simanyi so munnayuganda olina okuba ekintu kinayamba eggwanga lyaffe ekizimba eggwanga lyaffe tuba n'okola ebintu ebyonono embeera eriwo gy'emirembe n'obutebenkevu mu Uganda oli ku ki so tugamba nga tugenda mu kalulu ka 2025 ffe nga akakiiko by'okulonda tusaba buli muntu yenna alina ekyokukola oba alina obuvunaanyizibwa mu kulonda namwe abamawulire mubeera nabo n'obuvunaanyizibwa naye bw'ofulumya lipoota za bannange mumanyi nti electoral commission twasanze nga obululu nga batandise obupaakinga mu kutya obuteeka omumawulire kati olina obuvunaanyizibwa manyi ki kiyinza okuleeta mu ggwanga ebitongole by'okwerinda olugamba tugenda kuteekako eggye lyaffe simanyi mpulira bigaali simanyi mpulira binono tugenda kuteekako ebibinja byaffe ebigenda okukuuma kalulu kubanga bwe tubeera bwetwekwatiremu tetugenda kuyitawo kati oba oleese embeera ndala tetujja kukkiriza ebyo tugondera amateeka akiiko byokulonda tulina okugondera amateeka abamawulire tugondera amateeka ab'ebyokutongole ebibiina by'obufuzi tugondera amateeka ab'ebibiina bya nakyewa tugondera amateeka ffenna tugondera amateeka tusobole kutambuza kalulu kaffe mu mirembe tubeere n'okujaganya si kukaaba si kunywa omusaayi katubeere n'okujaganya mu kulonda ebirala bibadde biki olwo sibimaze mwebale.
Thank you very much, Chair, Deputy Chair. I think we'll now let you go to follow the stories with the knowledge that the photographers take the photographs and they don't go on the table of the cake to attempt to cut the cake. Thank you very much, Lord Chair. Thank you very much, members of the press, for coming. As always, we value your presence and the work that you do to keep our people informed of what the Commission is doing and what the country is doing in preparing for the... Let's also thank Miss Hope Nyamwiza and Miss Mabel Murunji, the sign language translators that have carried us through today. Thank you very much. We appreciate it.